Here's something that will make you uncomfortable. The person you're most attracted to might be the one manipulating you into loving them. Every psychologist knows this dirty secret, but nobody talks about it in public. The Ben Franklin effect proves that when someone gets you to do them a favor, you don't resent them. You actually like them more. It defies all logic, yet it's been replicated in laboratories for decades. Your brain rewrites reality to justify why you helped them, convincing you they must be worth it. This isn't romance. This is your psychology being weaponized against you. Welcome to the clinical truth about modern attraction. The Ben Franklin effect was discovered when Benjamin Franklin wanted to win over a rival legislator who hated him. Instead of doing the man a favor, Franklin asked him for one, to borrow a rare book from his collection. The rival agreed, and afterward became Franklin's loyal ally for life. This violates everything we think we know about human relationships. Traditional logic says, do favors to make people like you. But the clinical data reveals the opposite mechanism is far more powerful. When you do someone a favor, your subconscious runs a background calculation. I must like this person, otherwise, why would I help them? Your brain literally manufactures affection to resolve cognitive dissonance. Neuroscience reveals what's happening in your brain during this manipulation. When you perform a favor, your anterior cingulate cortex detects a mismatch, action versus feeling. Your brain hates inconsistency. It creates psychological distress measured in actual cortisol spikes. To resolve this neural conflict, your ventromedial prefrontal cortex literally rewrites your emotional evaluation of that person. Within milliseconds, you begin attributing positive qualities to them you never noticed before. They seem more trustworthy, more attractive, more worthy of your time. This isn't a conscious choice. It's an involuntary neurological event, as automatic as your heartbeat. Now here's where the silent red flags emerge. People with deep-seated insecurities unconsciously weaponize this effect in relationships. They constantly ask for small favors. Can you pick this up for me? Can you help me with this task? Can you listen to my problem right now? Each request seems innocent and reasonable, but observe the pattern over weeks and months. Clinical research shows that insecure individuals create dependency, not by giving, but by taking in strategic doses. They're not consciously manipulating you. Their wounded psychology has learned this survival mechanism. The red flag isn't the favor itself, it's the asymmetrical pattern that emerges. Attachment theory provides the clinical framework for understanding why this works so devastatingly well. Individuals with anxious attachment styles unconsciously create situations where you invest more effort than they do. Every favor you perform is an investment, and humans are neurologically wired to protect their investments. Psychologists call this the sunk cost fallacy in relationships. The more you've done for someone, the more your brain convinces you they're valuable. You've invested time, energy, emotional labor. Your subconscious refuses to accept that investment was wasted. So it manufactures deeper feelings of attachment and even love. You're not falling for them, you're falling for your own investment. The scientific literature reveals 3 specific red flags that indicate someone is using this effect to manipulate attraction. First, they ask for favors but rarely reciprocate with equal effort. Track this over a month, you'll see the imbalance. Second, they express excessive gratitude that feels slightly performative, ensuring you feel appreciated enough to keep giving. Third, they create small crises or problems that position you as the rescuer. Clinical psychologists recognize this pattern in emotionally immature individuals who never developed healthy self-sufficiency. They're not bad people, they're wounded people using unconscious strategies that their nervous system learned for survival. Laboratory experiments have tested this with brutal precision. Researchers had participants perform favors for Confederates, actors pretending to be fellow participants. One group did small favors, another group received small favors. Afterward, they measured attraction levels using validated psychological scales. The results were unambiguous. Those who performed favors rated the recipients as significantly more likable, more attractive, and more trustworthy. The group that received favors showed no such increase in positive feelings. The clinical implication is devastating. Being useful to someone creates more attraction than being generous to them. This is why the nice guy who constantly gives often loses to the person who strategically takes. Now let's examine the insecurity component through a clinical lens. People with deep insecurities often have what psychologists call an external locus of control. They believe their value comes from outside validation. They unconsciously collect evidence that they matter by getting others to invest effort. Every favor you do becomes proof they're worthy of love. This creates an addiction cycle. They feel temporarily validated, but the insecurity returns, requiring more favors to fill the void. If you're dating someone and notice you're always the one making adjustments, canceling plans, going out of your way, pause and assess. The question isn't whether they appreciate it, it's whether the pattern reveals a deeper psychological deficit. The counterintuitive dating strategy that emerges from this research will disturb you. Stop being so available and accommodating. Clinical data shows that healthy attraction requires balanced investment. If you want someone to genuinely value you, occasionally say no to their requests. Let them experience mild discomfort or inconvenience. This isn't cruelty. It's establishing appropriate boundaries that prevent the manipulation cycle. Securely attached individuals respect boundaries. Insecure individuals escalate their requests or withdraw affection when you stop performing favors. Their reaction to your no reveals everything about their psychological health. Watch carefully. This is the most accurate diagnostic tool you have in early-stage dating. There's a darker application that pickup artists and manipulators have exploited for years. They deliberately ask for small favors early in dating. Hold my jacket, order for me while I take this call, can you drive tonight? These micro requests seem trivial, but each one activates the Ben Franklin effect in your neural circuitry. By the third date, you've performed 15 small favors, and your brain has unconsciously upgraded your feelings for them. Meanwhile, they've invested almost nothing. Clinical psychologists see this pattern repeatedly in toxic relationships. The manipulator maintains emotional distance while the partner becomes increasingly attached. If someone seems unusually comfortable asking you for things before establishing real intimacy, consider it a red flag for narcissistic or avoidant attachment. Longitudinal relationship studies reveal the long-term consequences of attraction built on the Ben Franklin effect. Couples where one partner consistently performed more favors early in dating showed significantly higher rates of resentment and breakup within 3 years. The favor giver eventually recognizes the imbalance, but by then they're deeply attached due to their psychological investment. This creates what therapists call hostile dependency. You resent them, but feel unable to leave because of how much you've invested. The clinical recommendation is stark. Evaluate investment balance within the first 3 months. If you're already doing significantly more emotional labor, logistical coordination, or compromise, you're building a foundation for future dysfunction. Here's how to use this knowledge ethically in your own dating life. First, be aware when you're performing favors and check your motivation. Are you doing it freely or to earn affection? Second, observe whether favors are reciprocal over time. Healthy relationships show balanced investment across months, even if individual weeks vary. Third, notice your reaction when they ask for something. Do you feel pleased to help or slightly resentful? Your gut reaction reveals whether the pattern is balanced or exploitative. Finally, use the Ben Franklin effect consciously by occasionally asking your partner for small favors. This isn't manipulation, it's giving them the opportunity to invest in you, which actually deepens their authentic attachment. The ultimate insight from clinical psychology is this: attraction built primarily on the Ben Franklin effect is attraction built on quicksand. Real love requires mutual investment, vulnerability, and reciprocal favors. If someone truly values you, they'll be uncomfortable always taking. They'll insist on contributing equally. They'll feel guilty when the balance tips too far in their favor. That discomfort is a sign of psychological health. The person who comfortably accepts your constant effort without reciprocation is revealing a deep insecurity. They believe they must extract value because they can't generate it themselves. Your job isn't to fix them by doing more favors. Your job is to recognize the red flag and decide if you want a relationship with someone still operating from that wounded place. Choose wisely. Your future self is watching.